The thunder rolling through the WNBA right now isn't just news. It feels like an earthquake shaking the league at its very core. Overnight, the WNBA unveiled a salary proposal unlike anything fans or players had ever seen, a deal so massive and sudden that it left the entire basketball world frozen in disbelief. For years, the fight for better pay had been slow, contested, and filled with promises that rarely turned into action. But now, out of nowhere, the league has pushed its max salary past $1 million and raised the minimum salary above $200,000, instantly rewriting what it means to be a professional women's basketball player in America. The timing, however, speaks louder than the numbers. This wasn't a gradual evolution or a predictable step forward. This was a desperate leap, a reaction born not from long-term planning, but from pressure mounting behind the scenes. The league didn't wake up suddenly generous. Something forced its hand. Something powerful enough to shift the entire direction of the WNBA in a matter of weeks. That something was Project B. As the WNBA struggled with internal negotiations and public criticism, this new challenger stepped onto the scene with a kind of financial backing and ambition that the women's basketball world had never seen before. While the WNBA was celebrating breaking the $1 million ceiling for its top players, Project B was offering $2 million as a minimum salary. Suddenly, the league that once controlled every corner of women's basketball found itself staring at a dangerous new competitor promising higher pay, better accommodations, and schedules that actually respected player health and longevity. Word spread quickly. Players didn't need rumors, they had direct offers in their inboxes. Contract figures weren't whispers, they were facts. When stars like Alyssa Thomas, Jonquil Jones, and Nneka Agwamike agreed to deals surpassing $2 million, everyone realized the balance of power had already begun to shift. Project B wasn't trying to compete with the WNBA. It was trying to overtake it. And for the first time in decades, the WNBA found itself fighting to keep its own stars from walking away. Inside WNBA offices, the tension grew as quickly as the offers from Project B. Negotiations with the players' union, already heated, became explosive. Players demanded not just money, but respect, stability, and working conditions worthy of professional athletes. They wanted charter flights, revenue sharing, roster expansion, and equal standards across franchises. They wanted commitments that would strengthen the league, not bandages that would delay the inevitable. Owners pushed back, claiming financial uncertainty. Players accused them of stalling and underestimating the momentum building outside the league. Deadlines were missed, extensions were granted, public statements grew sharper, and frustration spilled into the media. The entire negotiation process felt like a pot on the verge of boiling over. And as the CBA expiration date crept closer, Project B loomed like a shadow in every conversation. The league understood the risk. A failed negotiation wouldn't just mean bad press. It could mean the loss of the very players who carried the sport on their shoulders. Expansion only added more pressure. The Toronto Temple and the Portland Fire, once celebrated as proof of the WNBA's growth, were suddenly stuck in limbo. Without a finalized CBA, neither franchise could build rosters or begin structuring their operations. These teams had already invested millions in branding, staffing, and planning, yet they had no direction, no rules, and no guarantees. Expansion, once a symbol of progress, had become a glaring reminder of how fragile the league's foundation truly was. Owners wanted to know how the WNBA planned to sustain these new salaries. Executives wanted to know how the league would prevent stars from skipping seasons to rest or pursue more lucrative opportunities. And beneath all of this, an unspoken worry grew louder by the day. What happens if Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest ratings engine, misses significant time again? The truth is that the WNBA's financial stability is tied directly to Clark in a way no other player has affected the league before. Her presence transforms ticket sales, merchandise revenue, TV ratings, and investor interest instantly. When she missed time earlier in the season, engagement dipped the moment fans realized her return wasn't guaranteed. Sponsors watch her closely. Broadcasters rely on her. Arenas fill because of her. And the league knows, quietly but undeniably, that if Clark chooses to sit out a year, whether to rest, recover, or focus on Project B, the impact would be devastating. This fear hangs over every decision the league now makes. It shapes negotiations, influences PR strategy, and fuels the urgency behind the new salary proposal. The league knows its success cannot depend on a single star, but that is exactly the position it finds itself in today. Players across the WNBA reacted to the new proposal in waves of excitement, skepticism, and caution. Some celebrated, grateful that their years of pushing for progress finally produced real results. Others questioned why it took a direct threat from Project B to make the league finally move. Many wondered whether the salary increases would truly help all players or if the benefits would be reserved for stars while bench players struggled under the same conditions as before. Role players feared they would still face travel issues, roster instability, and minimal team investment unless deeper structural changes were made. The conversation extended beyond paychecks. It became about respect, opportunity, and the league's willingness to evolve. Fans added their voices to the debate, some asking why the league didn't raise salaries sooner, others worrying about the sustainability of such dramatic financial jumps. And behind closed doors, another conversation began. What if players simply choose not to return to the WNBA at all? Project B's schedule is perfectly designed to give athletes financial independence without burnout. For the first time, players can earn life-changing money without needing a second league. They no longer have to play year-round to survive. If a star decides the WNBA schedule is too grueling, or the travel too exhausting, or the league too slow to improve, they now have the freedom to walk away, temporarily or permanently. That possibility creates leverage